Hello, hello. Hi there. I'm Sabine IELTS and I'm here to tell you about this test, IELTS. What is it in general? Let's go. So, uh, let's look at the abbreviation IELTS. So this is the International English Language Testing System. If you know everything about IELTS, maybe you've taken it at least once in your life, or you just heard about it. So this video is not for you. This is the basic information which in general you should know if you need this test. Okay, so others, people who don't know IELTS, like anything about it or not so much, welcome. Let's go. So first of all, before taking the IELTS test, I'd like to tell you that you need to know your level, because this is very important, especially if you've got the requirements, let's say from the university, to get the band, like the specific band of IELTS test. So here is the CFR, so-called Common European Framework of Reference levels. A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2, and band of this test of IELTS. So, for example, if you need 6.5, you need to be B2. Okay, so you should be very optimistic, but as well realistic too, of course, because you need to know the level, like your point A, let's say, the starting point, to prepare for the test. Why you need to know this? Because depends on your level and depends on your point B, like the band you need on your IELTS test. You can calculate the time you need to take this test, to pass and to get the certificate you need. Okay, so these are hours, you see, guided learning hours needed to go from one level to another. So let's say that your level now is B1 and you need B2, so you need something about 180 to 160 guided learning hours. Guided learning hours usually means the hours spent with the teacher. Not just spent with the teacher like on your holidays, but learning the language, okay? So be aware of that and be prepared, be realistic, please. Okay, anyway, a goal is a dream with a deadline. So you need to know exact deadlines. Yeah, like, so it's not just taking the test, it's taking the test when. Yeah, so the date when you need it. In this case, I do recommend you to write down the goal you need with your IELTS using this SMART technique. SMART is that you need to be specific. Your goal should be measurable. Let's say IELTS 6.5, or I don't know, IELTS 7 or IELTS 5.5. It should be attainable or achievable. So if you A2 and you want to get 7, it's not attainable. But if you A2 and you want to get, let's say, let me see, 5, for example, it's pretty achievable. Okay? So that's why you need to know your point A. Point A is the beginning, the starting point. It should be relevant. So let's say if you don't need IELTS, so the the smart and the smartest goal, like for your IELTS test, still is like lacks R in it. Yeah, it's not relevant for you if you're not preparing to go to university or migrate or get a job. And time-based, so it should be specific again in terms of date. Like you need to know, for example, when you need the certificate, like till September 2025. So a goal without a plan is just a wish. So please pause for a minute and try to write down your SMART goal for IELTS test. You can write it down in the comment box, but it's not obligatory. You can write it down for yourself and put it somewhere in a place you can see every day. Try to do it now. Okay, let me tell you about your IELTS test. Not just your IELTS test, but IELTS test in general. So this is the structure. This is basically how it looks like. 4 main parts of the test: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. You see, there are the time you will spend on these parts, like 30 minutes for listening, 60 minutes reading, 60 minutes writing, and approximately 14 minutes, like 11, 14 minutes speaking test. Okay, and here you've got the information about how many sections there are, how many questions there are, and if you want to know a little bit more about any of these parts, please write down the comment about it. For example, I've got some videos about reading, some parts of reading, some types of reading questions, and if you want to let's say see the videos about writing or speaking or listening, how to prepare, how to deal with different types of tasks, please let me know. What you also need to know before the test, before actually preparing for the test, like starting to prepare for the test, is the type of the test. There are 2 types, like 2 main types of IELTS test. There are actually more, but 2 main. The academic is when you prepare to go to academic environment, like to get the education, the higher education, university, both in your country or abroad, especially in English-speaking countries, of course. So it's a bit different, it's not a bit, but it's a different from general training IELTS. General training IELTS is for those who want to go abroad to work and to migrate. Okay, so what is the same in these parts? Listening and speaking are absolutely the same. You even take this part with those guys who take like another type of test. But when it comes to reading, as you can see here, 60 minutes there and 60 minutes for general training, like both are the same, but academic test is academic, yeah? So there are longer texts, they are from different types of like academic journals and magazines, like National Geographic, for example. So they are authentic, and they are longer and more complicated with academic language. You should be prepared for that. If it is general training, so there are shorter texts. The texts are also authentic, but they are usually, you see, taken from company handbooks, official documents, books and newspapers. So they are a little bit closer to life, yeah, to lifestyle. So they are more work-related, not academic. And when it comes to writing, the second task is a bit the same, we can say, but the first task is absolutely different. When it comes to general training, it's a letter. So it can be official letter, non-official letter, like you write a letter to your friend, for example, or colleague. When it comes to the academic one, it is usually a graph. So you need to write a report, describe a table, a graph, a chart, a map, a process, etc. Speaking and listening are the same for both tests. If you want to know more, please write down your questions and I would be happy to answer, both in comments or record a video about it. Okay, success will not come tomorrow unless you start today. So what do I recommend you to start doing today? Yes, of course, you can start preparing for the test, but before that you need to know your level. You need to calculate the time approximately for preparation. You need to know the date, like maybe not the exact date, but at least the time, the months, I don't know, when you need to know, when you need to have the certificate, okay? So this is obligatory, this is your homework, let's say, for today. And also you need to know the band, like if it is the academic, if it is the general training, of course, it's the most important part, and the band you need. Usually for academic purposes, 5.5 is the minimum. For bachelor degree, sometimes 6. By the way, you need to ask your university if it is like it can be 6 overall. And sometimes some universities ask you to provide to get like minimum 6 for each part. So you need to ask your university directly. Okay, usually universities provide this information about the prerequisites for their courses. If it is master's degree, it's usually 7.5, depends on the university. So please find it out directly from the university or universities you want to apply to, okay? After that, what you can do, of course, you can ask me like whether I can prepare you or not, me or another teacher, it doesn't matter. Well, yeah, it matters, of course, but come on. What you can do yourself today. First of all, I do recommend you to listen a lot, like a lot. It's not only for your listening tests, okay? It's also for your writing and speaking, because when you listen, you you increase the exposure of language, and you speak better, you read better, you write better. So it's not just listening. The Castbox is the application I do recommend. It's free. As far as I remember, like you don't need to pay anything, but there are so many podcasts you can find, and not only English, by the way. And this application is pretty nice. TED Talks, both in application or on YouTube. Yeah, they are wonderful for listening and also to develop some topics, because TED Talks provide different types of topics, and you can grab not only English phrases, words, but also the ideas from the talks. Okay. Also, I do recommend to listen to news. Here I highlighted some also applications, but you can find them on YouTube, maybe in the same Castbox. So I like all of them. Like, why do you need to listen to news? Because it's usually kind of up-to-date topics, and there are speakers of different nationalities, different regions, and they speak like not about English, but with accents. So, and this is also very important for IELTS listening, for example, to prepare for the accents. Reading. Yeah, you need to read a lot for IELTS test, especially academic one, because basically academic tests gets their reading passages from these sources. Not only these sources, of course, but the sources like this. So it's National Geographic, The Guardian, The New York Times, the what else? Like others. Some of them are free of charge. Some of them provide only, like, let you read only the part of the article, which is sometimes enough. You don't need to read every day a big, long, boring article. Sometimes they are boring, but you need to read a lot. Like, you need to read often. You need to read every day on a daily basis, day in, day out. You open the magazine and or newspaper and read. Yeah, sure, they're not obligatory paper, based, let's say, documents, but they also can be online or on the app. You can find some. So it depends on you, depends on how it is for you. Is it okay or not? Okay, so this is basically what I wanted to tell you in this video, and I do recommend you to start today, to start right now. And if you have any question, or you want to ask for the any video for me to record, what my English just finished here. Yeah, so please write down the comments, and I would be happy to answer the questions and record the new video for you. Bye.